Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to a Fortnight on the Isle, my bi-weekly update series where I talk about, all the things that are going on in my life and projects that are coming up and things that I've been working on and all of the fancy whatnot. Man, you might remember when I did my update a couple weeks back on the 22nd of January. I thought I was busy 2 weeks ago, and let me tell you what, I was not nearly as busy 2 weeks ago as I have been this week, especially, but the last 2 weeks, broadly speaking, it has been a heck of a time for me. I was not prepared for it, to say the least. Firstly, one of the things that is going on in my life right now is that I am doing some drumming for my old high school choir teacher. She asked me to come in and do drumming for the Pops concert that they're going to do, performing a medley of The Greatest Showman. So I've been going in every other day for that, which has consumed a lot of my time, like a ton of time, as well as mental energy. It cuts out my morning reading time on all of the days that I have to go in for that as well. That kind of sucks. Secondly, school has been extremely busy, even more so than it was when I mentioned it a couple weeks ago. Like, I had spent several hours on it in that first week when I did it a couple weeks ago. I was not expecting for the school load to be as high as it was while I was trying to do the other stuff that I've been working on. Also, work has been crazy more than once in the last couple weeks as well, I guess I'll add. To the point, actually, that my whole 14-hour shift today, because I record these update videos on Friday after I come home from my 14-hour shifts at work, I had maybe 2 hours combined total of downtime in my whole 14-hour shift. For reference, normally I have between 6 and 8 hours of technical downtime to be able to work secondhand on school or other personal projects or whatever it may be. I did not have any of that today. It's probably been the busiest day that I've ever had at work, and I'm tired. I barely had a chance to write the notes for this video. I was so busy today, actually, because all that downtime that I did have was spent finishing this week's schoolwork. I had one final assignment due today that I barely got finished. Part of the point of me saying all this is that I barely did any reading the last couple weeks, actually. The truth is that I read 0 pages the last week, maybe even week and a half. I read maybe 100 pages total, barely over 100 pages for the week before that. So the last couple weeks, I've made no progress. Speaking of the reading, I guess I'll just go ahead and get into the bi-weekly reading. It's going to be a real short segment on this update. I did continue Kingdoms of Death by I did continue Kingdoms of Death by Christopher Rocchio, Book 4 of the Sun Eater, but like I said, I did not finish much reading at all. Remember 2 weeks ago when I said that I was supposed to be to page 175 or 200 by then, based off of scheduling? I am at page 220 right now, 2 weeks later. Haven't gotten pretty much any progress done in this or any other reading since, for the most part. It's been like a week or a week and a half since I've read anything. It's insane. I will also add that I did read 2 more poems by Edgar Allan Poe, but I want to say both of those poems were one of those poems was half a page barely, and the other poem was a page. I did read Song at the top of this page here, and then I read Dreams. Both of them are really thought-provoking in the sense that I had to read and reread both of these things a couple times before I felt like I had an understanding of at least my personal interpretation of what's going on in them. I've been really enjoying my time going through all of these poems, so I hope that whenever I get a chance to continue to read some more, that they'll continue to be just as good for the most part. But yeah, that's all of the reading that I did the last couple weeks. So I'm going to go ahead and move on to the bi-weekly writing, where I talk about the writing projects. This is the secondary reason why I haven't been doing much reading the last couple weeks, is because this fortnight, a lot of my time, well, pretty much all of my time that wasn't spent doing school or my other doing school or work or doing the drumming for my old high school choir, the little bit of free time that I got over the last couple weeks has all been spent doing a writing project. Now let me go ahead and explain a little bit of what's going on with this, because I have been doing all of this working on the Reign of Ash actually the last couple weeks, which I'm really excited to be back into. But let me explain what's going on with it. Like I said, currently I am in the process of what I'm calling my pre-writing stage, kind of similar to, say, pre-production for the film industry. All of the work that goes into making a project capable of going into the actual production, where in film, the production is actively filming, post-production is stuff like editing and marketing and stuff like that, and pre-production is all of the work that goes into prepping the film for the actual filming process. For me, my pre-writing, I have personally split it into 4 different stages, the first of those being initial summaries, where I write 3 paragraphs for each individual book in the Reign of Ash, where each paragraph represents approximately 1 act of the book. Stage 2 is going to be the expanded summaries, where I split each of those 3 paragraphs per book, probably into about 3 paragraphs each, so that each book has approximately 9 lengthy paragraphs summarizing and explaining what's going to go down in them for my personal reference. Stage 3 of the pre-writing is going to be version 1 of the outline, so I'm going to expand probably those 9 paragraph summaries into anywhere from 45 to 60 or so scenes. And then, of course, stage 4 of the pre-writing will be the revised summaries. So basically version 2 of the outline. So general revisions, and then anything that happens after that will be auxiliary, finishing up, the final touches to how I plan for everything to write. Actual production will begin after that, but pre-writing is going to be a long process. I predict that it will at least take the rest of 2023 and will most likely take a chunk of 2024, if not all of 2024 as well, especially with the outlining, because I plan for the outlines to be quite lengthy, probably upwards of, upwards of like 10 to 15% of the word count of what the entire book for each book is going to end up being. And I do plan to get through at least version 1 of the outlines for all 19 books in the Reign of Ash before I actually start writing the rough draft version of the first book, just for personal reasons, to make sure that everything is lined up correctly, and so that I'm not having to retcon stuff or making mistakes with continuity in the future. Either way, I did start and finish all of stage 1 over the last couple weeks, which I'm very happy about, very excited for. But now that it is early in February, I can take a break from this before starting stage 2. I'll most likely get to stage 2 in March. We'll see. It might be a little bit after that, depending on how this month with school and stuff goes. And I'm going to take all of the time, instead of doing this writing project stuff, I'm going to finally get back into reading again, because I've been slacking hardcore. I have an absurd amount to catch up with, insofar as I'm actually able to spend that time reading, because who knows what school and whatnot is going to do to me. Also, with so many videos that I still need to record. Speaking of, let's go ahead and actually talk about the coming releases, since that's what I'm talking about at the moment. On February 7th, this Tuesday, you will see the January reading wrap-up and TBR, episode 58 of the Book Binge. That one's going to be, wrapping up a little bit of what I said in this video in the bi-weekly reading section, but going over some other stuff as well, including a more reserved, I guess, February TBR than I was expecting to be having going into the month, but time is kind of crazy and things have been busy for me recently. On the 8th, this Wednesday, I'll have the January wrap-up coming out, so the February State of Affairs video. That video was actually supposed to come out today at the time of recording on the 3rd. Obviously, I did not get it recorded, let alone edited and uploaded yesterday like I was hoping that I would be able to. I was not able to, so instead, I'm most likely going to be recording that video right as soon as I am done recording this one, so that I can get started editing that immediately in the morning alongside other videos. So that is how that is going. On the 9th, this Thursday, I'll have my January book haul video, which will be a tiny haul. I've had a couple small book hauls up to this point. This book haul can barely be called a book haul. Spoiler alert, but yeah, that will be coming out on Thursday. At least it will be a short video. It will cut down on production time for me this week when I don't have much time to be producing stuff. On the 14th, so the Tuesday after this upcoming one, I'll be doing a special video that's different than anything else that I've done, a little bit more news related-ish, but not exactly news per se, just kind of informational, I guess, to an extent. That will be called The State of Sun Eater, basically talking about the series of Sun Eater by Christopher Rocchio and some of the exciting news that has been coming out. I figure I kind of want to put in a word personally for how excited I am for some of that stuff coming out that has been announced, and I figured it would be nice to put into one quick, concise video, explaining basically the entirety of the situation that's going on with the series at the moment, and kind of address a lot of the frequently asked questions that Christopher has been getting regarding some of the news and other similar stuff, just as personally for reference, so that if people ask about it, I can basically say, here's everything all in one quick video if you want to check that out, so that you have all of the information in one place, because the announcements and whatnot that Christopher has done for the series himself on his own channel and in different updates and whatnot, different bits and pieces of it are split between different places, like his newsletter, his Patreon, different videos on his YouTube. So I'm personally going to try to compile a lot of the recent news for the series into one video, just for the sake of ease, I guess. But on the Thursday after that, on February 16th, I'll have my 2022 reading tier list number 4 come out. So that's coming close to being done at this point. That video will be covering items number 29 through 36 that I read in 2022. And then the week after that, obviously, part 5 will come out. But that is not an announcement that I need to be making in this video, because this one only covers the next couple weeks. But we've gone through all of the announcements for this video, and I'm actually quite shocked that looking over my record time is less than 15 minutes. But let's go into a little bit of entertainment talk real quick. I've been subbed to Discovery Plus for a while now because of Mythbusters. I'm a huge fan of Mythbusters. In fact, over the last couple years, I went through and watched all of the seasons of it that are available on Discovery Plus, just for the sake of enjoying it all again. Sometimes I watch occasional true crime stuff, which is what I'm actually going to be talking about right now. Over the last couple weeks while working on school or writing projects, I have been watching on the side the 2-season show on Discovery Plus called Dead of Winter. To put it simply, I'll never not be upset by how depraved and terrible some people can be. I don't know why I watch true crime stuff just to make myself mad at humanity, but it's kind of morbidly funny in that way, I guess, the way that I continue to subject myself to it. The show was decent. There were a few great episodes of it. Like I said, it was only 2 seasons. Each season was only 6 episodes, so it was real short. But I will say it was not quite up to the quality of, say, Dead Silent, also on Discovery Plus. Dead Silent is like 4 seasons. I don't remember how many videos each season has, anywhere between 5 and 7, I believe. Dead Silent is amazing. I really loved that show. Dead of Winter wasn't quite as good, but still had some good material in it. And I guess I'll go ahead and speak about The Last of Us on HBO one last time for the 3rd update in a row, and just say I'm a little bit disappointed by the discourse over episode 3 of it. Not for the reasons that you might think I'm disappointed about it, and not even getting into like opinions about any of the material within, because I know some people have some hot takes about some of the stuff that's in the episode. Even disregarding all of that, of the actual material, I'm just kind of disappointed by episode 3 of it, because even though I'm not watching the show, just the general pop culture buzz around it and the discourse around it, I can't escape from. Even just popping onto Facebook or Twitter for literally like 2 minutes a day, I still see something about the show somehow. So I might just pop out and Not that that'll help anything because I'm still going to see them forever with how big the show is. It's started to cause a little bit of magic of the game to just kind of disappear for me, admittedly, and that's really depressing. This is exactly why I didn't want to watch the show, but it's happening to me anyway, and it upsets me. But that's all I'll say about that, but whatever. Either way, thank you guys for coming around to watch this not state of affairs. That's not what this video is. This Fortnite on the Isle and spending some time with me, like some of you guys tend to do regularly. I appreciate the support and y'all letting me ramble about random stuff in these videos. I'm going to go ahead and cut it there. I'm happy that this video is shorter than I was initially anticipating that it would be. I'm going to log out now so that I can record the State of Affairs video for you guys to be able to watch on Wednesday. So thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video, whichever one that is and whenever it'll be. I already forgot at this point. So see you guys later.